What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another quick little mini episode of Reach My Forest Finest, the podcast. We got Queen Michelle here again. This is like what, number 4, number 5?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a saga.
I love it. The people love you. We are here to do an update. I'm doing an update because you spoke at the board meeting again this past Thursday. So before we get into your speech on last Thursday or this past Thursday, remind all the people that are new or they may not remember where we are right now in your case and your fight against HISD.
So for those of you all who don't know me, my name is Michelle Williams. I'm the president of the Houston Education Association, but I'm also a teacher in HISD. But in March 2024, the first year of the HISD takeover, Mr. Miles decided to send his people from on high to visit my classroom and make up a whole bunch of stories about me and my teaching practice, forced my principal to write some right, I'm laughing about it. He wrote some memos to me about some things that they forced him to do. And how do I know they forced him? Because in our meeting, he said he was directed to issue these memos. Then after that, I was put up for non-renewal. And in July, the hearing officer sided with me on 24 of the issues that were raised in my non-renewal hearing. And HISD did not win on not one of them. And not only did they not win on it, her recommendation was that HISD used inaccurate, retaliatory, and incomplete evidence when non-renewing me. So here we are, fast forward to August 2025. The year 24-25 was a good year. I had a great principal. All was right with the education world, at least my world. And then we got a new division chief, and then we got a new principal, and I didn't last 10 days. I am currently awaiting my hearing once again. Right now, it won't be heard until next year, sometimes, if it's heard at all. So I don't know what's going on with HISD. So we're just waiting on that, and I'm campaigning and doing my thing at home and waiting for my opportunity to tell the world about what's taking place inside of HISD's classrooms. You already, if you haven't heard or read the article or social media post, I won my complaint about HISD not implementing students' IEPs. And this is egregious. Not that all of them aren't egregious, but this one is especially egregious because it was the life skills class. They are pushing them into gen ed classrooms or general education classrooms without the support that they need and deserve in these classrooms, because there are a lot of students with autism that are not being serviced in HISD.
Wow. So to recap, also on last month, or was it last month? Was it October? The board decided to, or they voted to terminate your contract.
Yes.
So because of termination, you do the whole Chapter 21 thing where you file for your appeals and hearings through TEA. And because everything is so backlogged right now with TEA, you're having to wait. So they are not going to be able to hear your case until January 2026 or sometime.
It'll probably be longer than that.
Wow.
It probably maybe March, if that long. And I don't know, because here's what I do know, and I can share this with you all, is that HISD, what teachers don't know, in order to get an appeal, you have to have your termination paperwork or your non-renewal paperwork or whatever the adverse action is. HISD wouldn't give it to me. The board action took place October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get my paperwork from HISD until November 5th.
Wow. What took them
So
so long? What do you think took so long?
I don't know. I felt like they were trying to prolong the inevitable. But you know, at the end of the day, I was going to appeal. I don't know if they were trying to stop the appeal. I don't know what goes on in people's minds who do not think logically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works. So it wasn't going to stop anything. My attorney had to file for a hearing officer.
Wow.
And that's what took place. You're not going to block my right to appeal your unlawful termination.
Yeah. So even with that, you're still very vocal. You're still going to the school board meetings, raising hell, talking your stuff, your big one. And you went this past Thursday and you spoke. So let's go back to the article that the Houston Chronicle just came out with a week or so ago. And the article was that, hey, Michelle wins again. Basically, Michelle filed the grievance against HISD and her school saying that, hey, they are not implementing students' IEPs. They are, like you said, taking the kids that are supposed to be in life skills class and pushing them into gen ed classes. They are not providing accommodations. You went all full throttle. And TA came back and sided with you and was like, damn, she's right. And so when you went to the board meeting, and this is after your termination, you're still being vindicated. So you went to the board meeting on this past Thursday and you used your 3 minutes, or how many minutes is it in HISD? 1. That's crazy. So you used your 1 minute in HISD at the board meeting to go up to the podium and just be like, I won. I was right. And right after, I'm going to say hours, literally hours after you made that speech at the board meeting, your principal, your current principal at Benbrook Elementary was walked out and shown the door. Now, what's crazy about that, I remember from the last episode when you were on, we were doing another update. When he got to that campus in August or end of July, I think it was, you practically begged him, get me off this campus. They're getting ready to do some foul stuff. You are drinking a Kool-Aid, and if you stay here, if you keep me here, you're going to be collateral damage because it's going to be a RICO suit. I'm going to sweep all of y'all with it. And you're going to have to, unfortunately, fall down with them. I like you. You a nice dude. Don't get caught up in it. But he was going to be Big Bang Hank, and he was going to go with the flow. And now he at home with you, now.
And that's the crazy thing about it. And I want people to know, I am not a person that intentionally seeks out to do harm. That's not who I am. However, and I guess I could say what this man said in one of the posts. He said, this is what an ugly war looks like.
Absolutely.
It is. And hey, you collateral damage. And you shooting at me, I'm going to shoot back. And that's where we are. And I shoot back with the law. Because one thing I can tell you that the Miles administration is going to do, they're going to make false statements and they're going to break the law.
Yeah.
And that's what I have proven over time and time again. And the principals, unfortunately, hey, you all drew your line in the sand and I'm drawing mine.
Yeah.
You're coming after me, I'm coming after you. And that's just it. At the end of the day, it is not intentional, but like they said, it's an ugly war and there's collateral damage, unfortunately, but these are adults.
Yeah.
That Mr. Hurd knew that he was breaking the law because I told him.
Yeah.
I told his executive director, his direct supervisor, I told all of them. And that wasn't the only law that they were breaking. That's why I'm ready for my termination hearing so we can pull up all the codes that they were violating, down to teachers' rights to control the pacing of the classroom, all of those things. They were breaking so many laws, it was ridiculous.
Wow.
Bilingual education, not telling them I don't have time to teach the kids how to read, changing science of reading and making it a STAR test prep course. He knew that those laws were being broken, but he didn't care. The division chief of the North doesn't care either, because I told him too. I told all of them, and I backdoored and I filed ethics complaints against all of them who were trying to make me break the law, because that is a direct violation of our educator code of ethics. You're telling me not to service special education kids and implement their IEPs. Sir, I'm not doing that.
I ain't doing it.
You know why? Because you can send me home and we'll fight it out in a termination hearing.
Wow. So let's talk about your principal Herb, because I, even after that, got so many inboxes, so many DMs from people that are teachers at Benbrook Elementary, and they were like celebrating. I'm like, dang, the man just got to the campus and didn't even make it 3 months. Like, what's up? They were like, he has filed some unjustified claims against teachers. He's launched some investigations against teachers that were unfounded and unjust. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Again, allegedly, this is what's being told to me. I don't know you, Mr. Hurt, but they were happy. They were happy, and I'm looking at this man, and I'm like, how long has he been in education? Because I knew he was freshly new to your school, and I'm like, was he one of these people that took this? Oh, I'm going to be a principal. I'm under the Mike Miles regime, and I'm going to be a golden child. Did he not think that the rules are going to apply to him as well? Did he not think he was going to?
No. They really believe that Mike Miles got their back. I said, talk to Dr. Stout and Kylene Vasquez about having their back.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Dr. Stout is no longer here.
Let's remind the people who Dr. Stout is or was.
Dr. Stout was the person, and her senior executive director. You can check out the articles and the interviews I did. Those were the two that came after me the day after Miles didn't like that I was telling him that I was more qualified to teach or to evaluate any program than the people that he employed, which was true. My resume is extensive. And what he didn't know, I have a principal certificate in Louisiana that I let expire because I don't want to be a principal. So she came into her and Kylene Vasquez thought that they had protection after I won my non-renewal hearing. I filed ethics complaints against them for due process because they did not follow our due process. And I want teachers to understand, anytime you're under investigation, they are supposed to do an investigation, get a statement from you, show you the evidence. All that's called due process. They didn't do that. HISD, they have broken that due process, and they're on the second time with that as well. So if they don't do it, then you file a complaint. I don't care what district it is, because they are banking on you all not knowing
your rights.
Your rights.
Yeah.
And you have the right to see what evidence they have against you. And you have a right to make a statement. They never even allowed me to make a statement. They just came and got me.
And you at home collecting a check, wasting our taxpayers' dollars. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about you recently on the campaign trail. You were doing some work on your campaign, and you ran into a teacher who approached you from another district. Because I want to talk about, I just got through earlier doing a podcast episode with a parent from HISD, Miss Jessica Campos. Miss Jessica Campos is a parent that filed a TEA grievance, several TEA grievances, I'm assuming, against HISD for failure to implement her baby's IEP and provide her accommodations. And TEA sided with her as well. And so we're talking about how to advocate. And one thing that we said was that we can always bank on, or districts can always bank on, parents not knowing their rights. But how important it is for teachers, educators, to make sure that they are following the IEP or the 504 accommodations, because that is law. It does not matter. You cannot police a child's disability. It does not matter what you feel, what you think, what you like. It does not matter. Our opinions do not matter unless we're at that committee table and we're making them at that table and everybody agrees to it. But aside from that, we must follow the law. And what teachers don't understand is that when you don't follow that law, parents can come after you individually. They can hold you liable individually. And the school district will say, oh, well, shoot, we told you to turn in your logs. We told you to blah, blah, blah. So tell us about the teacher that you ran into the other day.
So there was a teacher when I was over at Gavin Newsom's, AKA Hollywood. he came into town, and a teacher walked up on me. And they were like, "Well, you don't know me, but I follow you on social media, and I used to work in HISD." He said, "Keep fighting that good fight." And I'm like, "Okay." But then he was like, "Hey, look, I got a subpoena as a sped teacher. I haven't worked in HISD in 2 years.
Wow.
And I got a subpoena. A parent is suing HISD. They subpoenaed him for a deposition, subpoenaed his certification, and asked for all communication that he had with the parent. Now this baby is gone. He look gone, and that suit is affecting him in his new district 2 years later.
Wow.
And that's why I keep telling teachers, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do not, especially you new teachers, because they're going to get you.
Always. You the easiest ones to get.
Yes. Do not sign off on anything that you don't understand, because when you sign for those IEPs, that's a contract between you and that IEP. You are saying that I am going to implement this IEP as written.
That's written.
If you have some issues, you need to call an ORD meeting, or you need to contact the department chair and put it in writing. Put it in writing, because it didn't happen if it's not written.
Yeah. Yeah.
And document. I don't care if the district is not documented. You document what is taking place with that child, and you document and save all communication, i.e. save means line copy to your personal email address. Because let me tell you about HISD. I ain't tell you what somebody told me. I'm telling you what a tech before the takeover told me. They said, first of all, HISD goes through all of your communications. That's why I had some teachers, I don't even understand this. Don't email me on HISD nothing. Because if they ain't monitoring nobody, they monitoring me.
And me too.
So don't send me nothing. You got too many other ways to find me.
Right.
You don't have to. So don't use HISD email for nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to protect yourself. And if it puts you at odds with the district, oh well. It just puts you at odds. That's where I am. One thing that HISD or not any school district owns, my resume or my teaching certificate. They don't own none of that. I built that up. That is mine. And you're not going to ruin it with your unlawful directives and your unethical directives.
So that's where we are. So we wait again for an update. It may be 2026 before we hear something new, but in the meantime, teachers keep fighting the good fight. Document. Know your rights. If you are not in a union, please join a union. TSTA, NEA, HEA, join. If you are in an area and you don't believe that they have a chapter in your area, reach out to some of your district representatives, wink, and see about joining. See about how you go about joining the chapter that is in your area, because there is one. Wink.
There is one in your area. And one thing I can tell you about TSTA represents, even if you don't have a local organization in your area, you can still join. You can still, it does not matter. If you need to, you can reach out to me. I'm just a social media message away.
Same. So last thing, I think I want to send this message to the principals, and the principals, you ain't safe. It's not safe. You will be collateral damage. You will fall. You will fall before a lot of your teachers fall, or you will be at home with your teachers that's waiting on their hearings. Oh, I think one thing we needed to clear up too, Miss Jessica Naiman. Let's clear that up. We did a Houston Chronicle came out with I think it was a Chronicle. And they said that Jessica Naiman was removed. Jessica Naiman was the former HR chief executive officer, HR director. It said that she was removed from her post, but come to find out, Jessica Naiman actually
Resign.
resigned. We don't know why she resigned. She and I have been in contact for a little bit. I'm really, really hoping. Why is my washing machine going off? My dryer. Sorry, doing laundry. Sunday. But I'm really hoping that once all of the dust settles, smoke clears, that she comes on and talks about her experience with HISD. I think it's very, very odd that the timing of her resignation was around the time of your departure.
Removal. Yep. So what happened with her, it was always weird about, you know, that she wasn't with the district anymore. And I knew that it was ugly because they snatched her picture off like they was going through a bad divorce.
A divorce, girl, yes.
So
yes.
I was always interested. I was like, and on the last podcast, I said, I believe her leaving has something to do with my case. So at the last board meeting, they had, because they have to name her as an item, and it said acceptance of the resignation of Jessica Naaman and the release agreement. So why are you creating a release agreement if she didn't say I'm done with y'all?
Yeah.
So I was removed on August 27th. The Chronicle came out with their article on the 3rd. So anytime between the 27th and the 3rd, she was chunking the deuce at them. And and a lot of the stuff that they were doing was illegal and unethical. Yeah. And Jessica Naaman is an attorney.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody has their own experiences with her, but she always addressed my issue. That's what I do know. I never had an issue with her ignoring things. She always addressed the things that needed to be addressed. And maybe that's one of the reasons why she was like, I got to go.
Well, let's hope. I don't know. Let's hope that's the reason. I've heard some pretty interesting things about Miss Naaman. But again, I don't want to say those because I don't know what's true and what's not. But I am really hoping that she did the right thing when it comes to you and when it comes to some of these other families. Like I said in the last podcast, when she and I spoke briefly, I'm like, hey, I really hope that after all of this is done, you take this opportunity and you use your background, because I believe she was like an advocate attorney or something. So I was like, hey, I hope you really use your background in law and help these families that you know that HISD is wronged. That was the last message I got, or the last message I sent. I didn't get a reply. So I'm just hoping that once all of this stuff is over with, she comes to her senses and is like, okay, now let me go back and fight this system that I know was doing teachers and families wrong. So,
well, the person that she had over there, who came, what's her name? Castillo, the deputy.
Normal?
Yes.
Normal.
When she was placed over there, I kind of figured Naaman's days were numbered, because what I do know about Jessica Naaman, and this ain't alleged, this is first person dealing with her in my hearing. She had made so many false statements, falsified records, just like the hearing officer said, incomplete, inaccurate, retaliatory.
And this is normal.
Yes. She was in my hearing and made so many false statements, brought in an unsigned conference for the record, and you can pull it up on under oath, lied and said that she gave it to me. False statements out the wazoo. I was like, woman, you know good and well in your little transcript when I said, yeah, doing when y'all came and got me, no, good and well, that is not what happened.
Why is she still employed?
Because she, from what I understand, she does their dirty work. That's what I was told.
Well, it won't be long if her name come out in another hearing. We already know how Machete Mike Miles does. You embarrass him in public on record, you out of there.
Yeah, but from what I understand, what they say about Texas is the pay-to-play state. I guess she playing to play. That's what they said.
It's on in due time, though. In due time. So, all right, Miss Michelle. Well, thank you for joining us for a little quick update recap on what's going on with you. We impatiently await your TEA hearing and your day to put everything and everybody on blast. let us know the date so we could be there. That's for sure a live event there.
Yeah. The last one was open. This one will be open if it happens.
All right.
So we're waiting on
one more
if that.
time, you're running for.
I'm running for state representative in House District 127. My campaign is all about community and kids. This past board meeting in Humble ISD, which is part of House District 127, they passed the gun law, said that they're going to arm teachers. And guess what they did? No community input, no teacher input. And I know that you all are tired of being ignored and people making decisions about your life, your safety, and the safety of your children without your input or knowledge. Wow. So I'm running for House District 127 and as a state representative because teachers need a seat at the table and the community's voice needs to be heard.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us how we can support the campaign again, website.
You can support my campaign at michelleforstaterep.com. I am going to be filing my candidacy officially on November 24th. We're doing a donation push for that. Whatever you can donate will be much appreciated. This is going to be an expensive race. And if you want to volunteer, there's two ways that you can help. Volunteer, come out, help out, knock on some doors, because we got to turn out the vote out here in District 127. We're not a red district. Don't be scared. We got to get our people out to the polls. And that's how we know that we're going to win this race by voters showing up.
All right. Sounds good. Can't wait to support. Can't wait to see what's next. Thank you again for always coming to support the podcast. We appreciate having you here. And until next time.